Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your December 2023 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, follow us what we have in front of us. The Celtic crossbred as always, and also pull the 4 agreements, Wisdom, the Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling over this astrology as we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright. So we have Scorpio. At the time of recording this, we're actually still wrapping up Scorpio season. But generally speaking for you guys, Scorpio is 9th house energy for you, which points to philosophy, higher learning, and foreign affairs. Right, we have 10. And 10th house energy for you guys is Sagittarius. And of course, we're going to be in Sagittarius season for the first few weeks of December. So it makes sense to see that come up. 10th house in general points to career and social status. All right, and we have Jupiter, and Jupiter is actually in Taurus, which is your 3rd house of communications, short journeys, and siblings. It's been retrograde for quite some time. Toward the very end of December, it's actually going to start direct motion again, but yeah, could definitely have an impact around your communications this month. All right, so with all out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Strength card. And challenging that, we have the Temperance card. So this is Leo energy, this is Sagittarius energy. So could just be saying that for some of you, maybe you've been holding back on expressing something, maybe a passion of yours, because you've maybe been hoping for things to just work themselves out spiritually, right? So let me give you this. Now, given that this is 6th house energy and 10th house energy for you guys, I'll give it to you through the context of work, right? So maybe there's been an issue going on within your work environment, right? Maybe you feel like people haven't necessarily been putting in their fair share to work, and part of you wants to tell them, like, hey, what's the deal? You know, you guys have been slacking off, right? But you, for whatever reason, you might say, you know what, let me hold back because it's probably not going to come out the right way, and let me just hope that it'll work itself out, right? So that could be one way that's playing out for you guys. But for others, you just could be one of those things where you might have a passion for yours. So let's say, for example, let's say you have a crush on someone, right? And you really want to let them know, but at the same time, you're like, you know what, let me just hold back, and hopefully, if we're meant to be together, it'll happen, right? So you just put into the hands of spirit there, like, all right, I'm not going to take action on it. I'm just going to hope for things to come together. In the foundation position, we have the 8 of Wands, so Sagittarius energy here. So yeah, to me, it says that as we kick off Sagittarius season here, that you're going to see a lot of movement as far as communication goes, right? Maybe a lot of movement within your career sector. But yeah, that looks like things will start moving for you. In the past position, we have the 7 of Cups. So this is actually a Scorpio energy here, represents the last 10 degrees of Scorpio. So yeah, it could just be saying that as we're wrapping up Scorpio season here, maybe you guys realize that you're not seeing something too clearly, right? So you're like, maybe that's part of why you're holding back, because you're like, okay, I know something's not right here, but I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. So I may not even say anything yet because it might just be taken the wrong way. So like, until I can figure out exactly what's wrong, let me hold back on saying it just yet. All right. In the present position, we have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, so for some of you, it might actually start to come through really soon. Like, okay, now I see where the disconnect was, right? So whatever it was around, like we said, for some of you, it could be around the work environment thing. Others of you, maybe it's around the romantic connection. But yeah, that's what I see with that. It looks like you will get sudden insight on, oh, okay, now I see what the missing piece is, and you'll be more comfortable moving forward. Okay, in a near future position, we have the Ace of Cups. So yeah, so for some of you, especially if this is more of a romantically related thing, could just be saying that once you do get that epiphany, like, oh, okay, you know what, maybe that'll encourage you to want to come forward and express your feelings for someone at this time. And for others of you, even if it's around the workplace thing, right, maybe it's a matter of, okay, you know that deep down people haven't been doing their fair share, but you might come across a way to express it in a nice way, right, or maybe even to do it in a way to where everyone feels encouraged to take on their fair share as well, right? To really foster like a community type of environment. All right, your influence in the situation, we have the Page of Wands. So yeah, to me this says that deep down you do want to take action on the situation, right? So like I said, even though it looked like you were just holding yourself back, hoping for things to work themselves out on a spiritual level, to me, like I said, it really does look like it was primarily because you knew deep down, like, you know what, I'm not seeing it clearly either. So for me to come forward and tell someone they're not doing something right when I'm not even fully sure I'm seeing the picture clearly, that could just cause an issue, right? So you might have held back on it for a bit, like, you know what, until I'm sure I see the situation clearly, let me hold back. But yeah, like I said, it looks like you're feeling a little bit more encouraged now and ready to come forward. All right, in the environment position, we have the Three of Cups. So this is a bit of a celebratory energy here. Could just be, I mean, in virtually every culture in the world, there's some kind of holiday going on in December. So could just be pointing to reconnecting with people during the holidays, right? Getting together, celebrating. But if not that, could just be saying maybe once you do figure out what that blockage was, especially if it was a workplace thing, right? Then you're like, okay, now I know what the blockage is. Let me get everyone together, get on the same page, and move forward. So looks like a positive energy there. And there will be a Cancer full moon toward the end of December, so that could be what this is pointing to as well. All right. In the Hopes or Fears position, we had the Queen of Swords. So yeah, to me, this is more of a hope for you guys, like I said, to have the clarity, right? Because like I said, it looks like for a lot of you, you really did realize that, okay, if I'm not even seeing the situation clearly, what right do I have to come forward and tell someone they're not seeing it clearly, right? So for a lot of you, this was just a hope, like, you know what, I'm hoping to see things clearly, which will help me be able to restore balance in the situation. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Three of Swords. So I did that to say, for some of you, seeing this in the outcome position makes me want to tie it into that Three of Cups, right? So let's say this is a workplace environment, right? Maybe for some of you, it really truly is that you might be action oriented, right? Like, okay, let's get the job done. Whereas these people might want to slack off, right? So you might be looking at it like, all right, let's close out these year end goals, right? So we could start the new year fresh. And these people are like, oh no, it's the holidays. Let's kick back. Let's relax. Let's party, right? And then you're like, okay, well, great. Well, now I'm stuck doing more than my fair share to work, right? That could be one way it's playing out. But for others of you, this could also just be saying maybe some disappointment around maybe even time lost, right? Because this is eighth house energy. So sometimes eighth house could point to energies that we hold on to for a really long time, right? So it might even be that looking back situation where you're like, okay, I wish I had said something sooner, right? So it could be one of those things where there could just be some regret around how the situation unfolded. I don't necessarily see it as an indicator of failure, but just more of like, is looking back like, man, you know, okay, here I was waiting for X, Y, Z to fall into place where maybe I could have come forward sooner and had a different outcome. All right. And the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. So yeah, to me, this represents getting that clarity around the situation. Like I said, that you might have felt a little bit stuck in for a while where you're like, all right, I don't want to speak out of place, right? So let me make sure I have all the information, all the details before I say something. So this can represent, once you get that, you're actually able to calm your mind a little bit and know what to do next. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have Don't Take Anything Personally, and it says Become Immune to Poison. Okay, it says the whole world can gossip about you, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of the second agreement. So, definitely a interesting message there, right? But that does make me think of the fact that there will be a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn in December, and that's actually your house of friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes, right? So just be on the lookout for that, right? To where maybe there could be some kind of a misunderstanding within your friend group, right? Things could get blown a little bit out of proportion. So I would say in that regard, right? So going back to what we were saying here, it looks like for the most part you want to be measured before you come forward and confront someone. So if this is, even though that's in the past energy, if you feel like that comes up again during December, just keep in mind, like if you can, like okay, like especially if this isn't normally the way those people operate that you're dealing with, if there seems like there's something like that that pops up, just keep in mind it could just be due to the retrograde, right? So you could either try to make an extra effort to clear things up, or just recognize like, okay, let me just let the retrograde energies ride out and address it again in January, right? Okay, moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have TikTok. There's the artwork, and the number is 30. So we'll see what this has to say. Okay, essential meanings. It says timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. The Oracle's message. When humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, are happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectation, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. So, interesting message there, right? Because it actually makes me think of the Strength card and the Temperance card in a different way, right? Because if it's saying, if you have realized that you've been really overly controlling around situations, right? The Temperance could be coming in that regard to actually tell you, well, no, actually, in that case, you do need to try to have a little bit more faith, right? And let things play out more naturally with the ebbs and flows. So, hope that resonated with you guys. The relationship message says love, the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its season, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time for love, to find it, to nurture it, to give and receive it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating of your heart, in perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know? Love is always right on time. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, because while this didn't necessarily strike me as a primarily romantic connection situation, if that's the case, hopefully that resonated with you, and there will be a full moon in your 5th house, romance creativity, toward the end of December as well. Okay, the prosperity message says your prosperity is co-created by your endeavors as they occur in human-made time and the eternal efforts of your most important manifestation partner, Spirit, in a divine, measureless time. So keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive and make a commitment to remain in high vibration thoughts and feelings. If you heed the message of this card, it will seem as if you will align with your highest calling and your highest good in no time at all, like magic. So what's all the fuss about not having enough time? The prosperous life that is yours will never pass you by. So yeah, definitely a positive message there as well, right? Especially for those of you who are like, all right, you know what, let me really make sure that I have the whole picture, see it clearly before I come forward and do something, right? With the thought that you don't have to worry about potentially missing out on something in that regard, because it's like, all right, getting that clarity could be the key to helping you move forward in a positive way anyway. All right, and lastly, we have a Mudra card. So this is your Mudra here. It's the Kashyapa Mudra. The keyword for it is preservation. All right, and there's the unfolding. If you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say, but under benefits, it says grounding and centering, balances masculine and feminine qualities, protects against negative energies and unfriendly or confused spirits, sometimes called orphan spirits. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description video as always. Hope you guys have a good holiday season. I'll see you all next year. All right, bye.